Hello everyone, and welcome back to Defender's Quest, Valley of the Forgotten. We have 3 journal entries, which I'll read now. Ezra. So you think that just because I can't read your fancy-ass language means I won't find out what you've been writing about me? Well, guess what, princess? We're going to write a journal entry on you. What should I say about Ezra? That her face is so thin that she looks like a fish. Also, her neck is so too long for her body. And her ears look like withered apricots, and her hair is stupid and stringy, and her personal hygiene is nowhere near as perfect as she believes. How's it feel, sucker? Now I guess I know who my real friends are. Sincerely, Keta, who likes to eat poop. Hey Slack, why is my name taking so long to write? Ozymal's death. I thought I would gain some small satisfaction with Ozymal's death. Well, I haven't. He was merely one glassy-eyed shambling corpse bent to our enemy's will, a pawn even before his death. The earth is rid of a wicked, cruel man. Here in the pit, will it even be noticed? Night 10, the monastery. I suppose it was foolish of me to expect anything in the pit to resemble home, but I was still shocked to see the Selene monastery here. It is an imposing, ominous structure, more fortress than temple. I understand the necessity of these precautions, but it is difficult to reconcile with the temple fountain I grew up with, where even the guards carry blunt weapons lest they sow chaos and destruction in the birthplace of harmony. What a reassuring thing it was to dip my hands into the fountain, knowing that I stood in the same place as every believer before me, all the way back to Selenat himself. Here I was a humble servant, separated from kings and prophets by nothing more than time. Just as water rises as mist from the valley, falls as snow in the mountains, rushes in rivers down to the sea, so each man born of the same essence must serve the different roles of his time and station, and so achieve harmony within the celestial machine. I wonder now what role I am to play in this lawless and terrible place, where harmony and wisdom seem faraway fantasies. There is some comfort, I suppose, in this fortress temple. Are not these monks serving their purpose? These imposing walls and warlike defenses are nothing more than the adaptations that allow the spirit of Selenat to be served here in this lawless place. As the great man himself said, "The truth remains the truth, be it written in any language. These defenses are nothing more than the language of a pit. The truth inside remains true." Okay, and now let's head to the next battle. I am taking a sip of, well, generic soft drink, so bear with me. I must express my gratitude for all that you monks have done for us. I did not expect anyone to help the plague victims here. Restoring order to chaos has always been the calling of Selene. We are traveling to a hospital we have nearby. You think that will be safe there? No, but one of the patients could make a very powerful ally. You're not the only one to return from the brink of death with strange new abilities. Elder, is that smoke in the distance? The hospital. Something's wrong. We must hurry. The hospital lies just across that river. I can feel them. They know I'm here. Relax, Ezra. We can hide on the far side of the river. And by hide, I mean murder. And by far side of the river, I mean everything that moves. Okay. So enemies coming from here. I guess the game will tell us itself, but this guy is this bluely tinted revenant water fiend. In his tooltip it says swims. Same with this guy. Which basically means a land-based enemy will have to move this way all the way around to get to Ezra. Whereas an enemy that can swim can obviously take the shortcut right down here. And then, move through here. So basically, bear in mind that if you place Defender here, which would be a good place for a melee Defender, they're not going to be able to deal with the swimming enemies. So let's instead put them around here. I'm not quite sure where to put the Rangers. It's not always that easy to find a good spot. Yes, here we'll do... maybe here. And then I guess maybe here. And then I have 2 healers. So put them here and here. Now, right now the healers aren't that important, but they will later on gain some abilities that make them incredibly powerful and make it much more important that every one of my defenders is in range of at least one healer. Okay, Boosty here, Boosty here, and I guess Boosty here. And sip of my, well, let's face it, it's Coke. Coca-Cola, to be precise. Come along. And you see, these guys can just swim. Wait, is it just me or does it look like those things can swim? More like a doggy paddle. Your style sucks. You hear that? I just called you doggies! Have you ever noticed that every time you open your mouth, stupid comes out? It is my greatest weapon. Not sure if that frenzy was absolutely necessary, but, well, I guess it didn't cause any harm. Okay, I think we're fine. Okay, that healing noise is going to get on my nerves really fast. Astra survived unharmed. Nice. I'm going to go for bulk up. Not because I care too much about the hit points of my healers, but because bulk up will eventually unlock Zeal, which basically heals and does damage. But the most important thing is Inspire, which basically improves the Zeal ability to also improve the damage that everyone affected by it does. Or at least all my guys that are affected by it. So basically the way Zeal will work is it will heal my guys, it will damage enemies, and it will make my guys do more damage. And that's why it's later on very important to have everyone be in range of a healer, because of the Inspire ability being so powerful. So eventually I basically want to go down this tree as well, even though the bulk up is kind of irrelevant, to me at least. Hope those sirens weren't too loud for you. That's, yeah, 7 skill points to 5 characters looks fine. That is the last of them. Well met, Reverend Elder. How is the hospital? This is the 4th attack in as many days. And the patients? Everyone still lives. The enemies were beaten back like dogs. Still as warlike as ever, I see. I would like you to meet the person responsible for the victory today. Hello, I'm Azra. It is a pleasure to meet new allies in this fight. Rena, the last princess of Quaid, hungry to avenge her fallen kingdom. Okay, journal entry. Reverend Elder Bakal is an oasis of sanity in this den of chaos. Though the speed of our flight leaves little time for conversation, the few fleeting words I can exchange with him have helped my spirits greatly. I wish I could offer him the same. There is some internal anguish tormenting him. I can see it now and again broiling beneath the placid monk's face. It is very obvious that he was once a soldier. The scars, the bearing and mannerisms all point to a warrior's life. I discovered at the monastery that he is not actually of the priesthood, though all that know him call him Reverend Elder anyways. In fact, he holds no position of authority, at least not in any official capacity. Yet his peers regularly seek his counsel and follow it as if he were a superior. The Lord Abbot himself seemed like little more than a close disciple. This current adventure seems to both agitate and inspire Bakal, as if his soul somehow hangs in the balance. I can understand now why Keta would fear him. Every now and then I see a determination in his eyes that rivals that of our pursuer. I just pray that Bakal will one day be able to find for himself the peace that he gives to others. And battle on. I am grateful for all this place has given me. You saved my life when I would have become one of the cold ones. But the walls of this hospital fence me in. Though shrouded in ice, the fury of the cosmic flame still burns within me. I long to take the fight to the enemy. That is why I came here, Renna. Excuse me for a moment. Hope that wasn't too loud. I need your help. Tomorrow I lead. What was that? More of them at the gates. Defenders, we're under attack. Even in this life of service, I am still the daughter of fire. The enemy that comes against me will burn. Ice mages can slow down attackers, which is very useful on short paths and fast enemies. Now my heart sings the battle song. We shall see the frost serve the fire, and our enemies drown in their own blood. Yeah. So, Ice Mage. Very useful. Of course, this position is kind of meant for her. Down the central path, as you can see. Well, firstly, it's a very short path. It's not very windy, whereas the outer ones are windy. But down the central path, well, these guys are not going to be very fast. But these worms are actually quite fast. You see speed 2.5, making them 2.5 times as fast as standard Revenant. So we want someone to be able to slow them, which Ice Mages curiously are able to do. They're also among the more expensive classes to upgrade. Then I guess we'll put down our Berserkers here. Then let's see where I can put down some Rangers so they'll actually be useful. I don't know, I can't really seem to find a good position here. Maybe this will do. And of course, aspire to achieve symmetry in all things you do. One more Berserker, which can take care of... I don't know. Let's just put him here. Put the other Ranger... I don't know, maybe here. And then I guess I'll give you a boost. And you. And you. And why not you? And let's go. See if this works out. Now the sleet ability is actually probably the most useful for right now, because it's an AoE slow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make the sounds even quieter. Go on, boosties. Okay, I already lost life. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I'm gonna die. Okay, you can be leveled up a bit. I'm not sure if I want to buy anything for all this scrap. Probably not. Let's go again. If I fail again, I'll gain a bunch of level ups on a bunch of characters, so... Oh, this is nice. Oh, this feature is great. If you didn't catch it, it just asked me if I wanted to use the same starting formation as last time. Which wasn't that bad, I don't think. That's huge, 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 huge. Just for convenience, because otherwise, every single time, especially for later, more complicated setups, I would have to place every single defender again, and as you might be able to notice, we'll have up to 6 classes, and up to 6 units each, so eventually we might place 36 units each time. And being able to just automatically replace them as they stood before, that's huge. Wow, it's very nice. Excuse me. Yeah, stop. Oh, I was slain again. Oh well. Level ups. Ding. What can you learn? Group heal? It's not really much of an issue, but yeah, let's go for group heal. Same here. Keta, you can... yeah, why not? The bleeding is kind of nice. You will definitely gain the regen bonus, and you will gain more double hit. So I don't think my setup is the problem, which means I'll eventually be able to do this. If I fail again, I will just be able to buy some upgrades, upgrade some equipment. Because, you know, I think I've got almost 2,000 scrap now, so it's not that long. Still not gonna happen. That last wave is kinda nasty. My Ice Mage can learn... yeah, why not? And you can also improve your double hit. And now we can go to town. 2,500 scrap should buy me some things at least. Weapons. I can probably buy... two of these. Okay, let's see how much that changes. Okay, and you can get a boosty right from the start. And let's go. Like, if I fail this too much, I'll probably go back and farm some earlier level, but I won't show you that. Because it's an essential part of this game to eventually run back to an earlier place and level that or do that on higher difficulties to gain scrap and to gain levels and such. Aha. Yeah, this is working much better. See? And suddenly I got a perfect victory. The bleeding is actually really powerful, so I'm going to go for that. It debuffs the enemies so that they take more damage from all sources. Ahem, I mean no offense, but she's quaint, isn't she? The vast majority of people down here are. The pit was a prisoner of war camp long before the plague. Many of those people have been working the mines for years, only to have the plague victims dumped in with them. That doesn't change the fact that they're a bunch of genocidal fire-worshipping lunatics. The Quaid Empire stopped at nothing to... Asra, the Quaid Empire is dead. The enemy who destroyed it now turns his attention to the rest of the world. We cannot quibble about the nature of our allies. Oh hey Renna, I didn't see you there. We were just discussing, stuff and things. That's good. You know what they say. Don't gossip about anyone who might slit your throat at night. I'm not terribly familiar with that saying. Who says that? People whose throats haven't been slit, presumably. Because the ones that have don't have all that much to say. It's more like gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. And then you say, was that advice? I don't know. Can you speak up? I'm sure glad we're friends. Me too. Friends are great. For instance, if you need to slit someone's throat in their sleep, you can say, hey friend, hold this person down. So, I have this really important question for you. Yeah? What's with the whole ice thing? I know you're generally more of a fire person, so why am I not shooting fireballs out of my eye sockets? Yeah, I guess. When I was dying, I saw hell, frozen blackness stretching out into infinity, a place without warmth or light, and a golden man whispering my name. I knew then that to listen would be damnation. I tried to flee, but I could not move. Each moment the whispers grew louder until they drowned my screams. Then suddenly it all vanished. I was here in the hospital, being cared for by the monks. But though I had escaped hell, I found I had brought a piece of it with me. This ice in my heart, I have never felt the same. Each day I hope the flame will make me whole again, and each day the curse continues. I am not the only one who has had this experience. Many survived the plague and returned changed. Until such time as the flame pities us, we use these curses against those who oppose righteousness. And it just goes to show, if you put your mind to it, you can use anything to kill your enemies. Okay. It's been an episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.